Silence literally became my first language. Restraint became my first survival skill. Appeasement became my first identity, y'all. I didn't confront people, I performed for them. I did not correct disrespect, I internalized it. And every time I would walk away hurt or misunderstood, I replayed the entire conversation in my mind over and over again, acting it out like I wish I would have said, and imagining the courage that if I would have said, what that would have looked like.
Welcome, Royal One, to audacity to rule the unmuted awakening. This is where silence ends and sovereignty begins, where power is remembered, identity is restored, and your voice becomes your crown. I'm your host, Queen Chi, and this is your summons to rise, rule, and roll. Unmuted, let's begin.
Welcome back, Royal Ones, to Audacity to Rule the Unmuted Awakening. Today we enter a sacred realm, the realm of your voice. Not the voices others hear, but the one inside of you. The one that has been trained and tamed, silenced, and buried long before adulthood ever arrived. Because the power to unmute doesn't begin with speaking. It begins with remembering where you first learned to be quiet in the first place. I grew up in one of those families, those Southern families, where children were seen and not heard. That was the rule. That was the culture. That was the air in our house. Expressing my thoughts wasn't allowed. Feeling emotions wasn't permitted. Questioning anything meant a whooping. My childhood didn't teach me communication skills. It taught me containment. So I learned to swallow words whole. I learned to hide tears. I learned to compress every question, every disagreement, every desire into silence. And I called it obedience. And as I grew older, that silence followed me like a shadow that wouldn't let go. I became the girl who was vibrant and alive only in the safety of my select friends, y'all. You know, the circle. I was reserved everywhere else. Other children looked at me and was like, oh, she's arrogant, she's stuck up, she thinks she's better than us, is what they would say. But the truth was, it was so much simpler and sadder that I had never been given permission to be myself. Silence literally became my first language. Restraint became my first survival skill. Appeasement became my first identity, y'all. I didn't confront people, I performed for them. I did not correct disrespect, I internalized it. And every time I would walk away hurt or misunderstood, I replayed the entire conversation in my mind over and over again, acting it out like I wish I would have said, and imagining the courage that if I would have said, what that would have looked like. And tears, oh, tears were private. They were hidden. They were protected because my mother, I never seen her cry about maybe 3 times in my whole life. And then one time, I had cried in front of my husband early on in our marriage, and he looked at me and was like, why are you crying? What is that going to do? That's not going to change anything. So I learned to cry silently, in the shower, in the bed, behind closed doors where nobody could judge, nobody could dismiss or punish what my heart could no longer contain. I was muted, but not by accident. I was muted by training, by environment, by expectations, by culture, by survival. And yet, somewhere inside of me, God heard a roar. a roar that whispered through the cracks of my silence, a roar that refused to die under the weight of generational conditioning. It's a roar that would one day become my identity, my ministry, my assignment, and my mantle, y'all. Listen, because here is the truth. You must feel in your bones today. You were never born silent. You were taught silence. And anything that is taught can be unlearned. Baby, listen, your voice is not rebellious. It is righteous. Your truth is not disrespectful. It is divine. Your emotions are not weakness. Listen, they are signals from heaven. And your sound, baby, ooh, your sound is not too much. It's not doing too much. It is necessary. Scripture says, open your mouth wide and I will fill it. Listen, which means God never asked you to be silenced. He asked for your sound. Your unmuting is not about becoming loud, though. It is about becoming alive. So before we continue, let me declare this over you. Every part of you that was silenced in childhood is rising. Every tear you hid is being honored. Every word you swallowed is being redeemed. Every emotion you buried is being resurrected. Your voice is returning, not as an echo, but as a force. Now, speak this with me. I break agreement with the silence I was raised in. I release the fear of being heard. I reclaim my voice, my truth, and my expression. I unmute my heart. I unmute my identity. And now, for those of you who will come after me and come after you, we declare this over our children. They will not inherit our silence. That our lineage will not inherit suppression. My bloodline will speak with clarity, courage, and truth. My unmute is generational. May the little girl who learned to be quiet finally stretch her voice again. May the woman you are becoming cradle her gently into freedom. And may your tears find daylight, your emotions find language, and your voice find the world it was created to shift. You, Royal One, are the sound of your bloodline, and it has been waiting for you to speak. And now you are unmuted. Thank you so much for joining me for this awakening. If this aligns with your spirit, share this episode, subscribe, review it in the comments, and invite others to see it. This is Audacity to Rule, the Unmuted Awakening, and your awakening continues the moment you decide to unmute. Until next time, bye.